All right, we are back.
All right, here we are.
Welcome back.
We are back. Episode 4. The A24 Pod.
The A24 Pod.
Yeah.
Pod. Is that
All
the
right.
name of a
Pod.
group of dolphins? Isn't it? Are they called
A pod
pods?
of dolphins.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pod.
I believe
That's
so.
a real thing?
Hey, Jamie, can you pull that up?
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, producer Jamie in the booth.
Yeah. That is correct.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie.
Thanks,
All
Jamie.
right, this week we'll be talking about Mid90s, the 2018 American
Yeah,
coming
not
of
the
age
decade.
comedy drama.
The movie.
Yeah.
Not the decade, the movie.
The actual.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
Last week
Just to
was
clear that up.
Midsummer. Now we're doing mid-90s.
Yeah, we're finally going off. We're coming off the weird movies.
Yeah.
You know, Under the Skin, Midsummer, High Life.
We need to
Yeah.
pick me up, a little change of pace.
Yeah, so now we're gonna do a little coming of age story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more
Who doesn't love
lighthearted.
one of those?
Yeah, it's about kids.
It is the directorial debut of Jonah Hill,
Mm.
written and directed by.
Might know him from Accepted.
Fat Jonah Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
Accepted.
I love that movie. I
haven't
think,
seen it in forever.
Dude, I still think that's a great movie.
You might know him from Moneyball.
Yeah.
Actually, I've never seen that.
You might know him from Wolf on Wall Street.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. Jonah Hill does have such an insane, span of movies. So many different genres.
Yeah.
It's
And
insane.
he broke this because you thought with super bad that maybe he was going to maybe not typecasted but just get stuck into a certain
like The Sitter and some of those movies.
Yeah,
like-
but luckily,
no, thank God.
yeah, he
He's so
bounced
good.
out.
Yeah.
All right, this movie follows a 13-year-old boy who begins spending time with a mostly older group of skateboarders living in 1990s Los Angeles.
Shit.
Yeah, shit.
Fucking groovy.
It stars Sonny Soljic.
Soljic.
As
I'll take
Stevie Sunburn. Is his nickname, Sunburn. Catherine Watterson as Dabney, the mom. She was in Alien Covenant. You guys ever see that movie? The sequel to
Yeah,
Prometheus?
yeah.
I've
What
never
else
seen
was she
either.
in?
Oh, she's been in a few things.
She's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. She's in the Fantastic Beasts spin-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, yeah, that's where I was trying to pick her out from.
Yeah. And then you got Lucas Hedges, who is a pretty big actor right now. He's definitely one of the biggest young and coming actors. Up and coming. He was in Manchester by the Sea, where he was nominated for Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. He was in the movie Lady Bird, which we'll have to do. That's an A24 movie. We'll have to do that
Oh,
eventually.
hell yeah.
He was in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, which I saw. That was a great movie.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
And then it also stars Gio Galicia as Ruben, the kid, the slightly older kid
Yeah.
than
The black kid.
Sonny. Oh, not Sonny. That's his real name, Stevie.
The homeless kid.
Yeah, like
Well, he's not really
semi-homeless.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to be home.
Nickel Smith as Ray, who is the black friend.
Yeah.
The dreads.
Owen Prennett as Fuck Shit,
Yeah.
the kid with the long blonde hair. Ryder McGoughlin as 4th grade, and Alexa Demi as Esty. Who's that? Is that the girl
That's
that he
that's
hooks up
probably
with?
the girl.
Yeah, it's
That's
got
gotta
she,
be.
she actually had like some screen time.
Yeah.
It also stars Gerard Carmichael as a really funny cameo as a security guard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
that
god,
was
that's one of the
hilarious.
better scenes in the movie, to be honest. Some really good dialogue. A lot of N-words being spout around.
Yeah, yeah.
This movie did not shy away from the N-word or the R-word.
No.
Yep, or the F word.
What was the F-word? Oh, no, don't say it. Don't say it.
Fagot?
Fagot?
You mean faggot and retard?
You
Is
mean
that
a
what you said?
cigarette?
And I will not say the N-word.
No.
I will not chime in with that
No.
nonsense.
Yeah, if we're talking about how bad
This
words
is the
are,
A24 Pod.
yeah.
Take it serious,
If
Tom.
we're talking about how bad words are and one of them we won't even say, that's the winner.
That's the winner.
Mm.
All right, should we do the plot?
Yeah.
The plot.
Yeah, it's a short movie, so we'll
Yeah.
breeze right through it.
Yeah.
125 minutes. Nice
Yeah.
and short.
Go ahead and drag us through it, Mike. Kicking and screaming.
All right, it's in 1996. Oh, I said that. Remember 1996? I guess.
Number 6, huh?
13-year-old Stevie lives in Palms, Los Angeles,
No.
with his aggressive, fitness-obsessed older brother Ian and his single
Fitness-obsessed.
mother Dabney. Yeah, the brother is very odd in this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird.
He's obsessed with fitness. He's very neat and orderly in his bedroom.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with beating the crap out of his little brother.
Oh my god, viciously beating the crap
But he's
out of him.
wicked ghetto, though, too.
And he
full
dresses ghetto. Like, he definitely is trying to fit into LA.
Yeah.
And he's obsessed with orange juice throughout the whole movie.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so odd. One day, Stevie bikes past Motor Avenue skate shop, admires the boastful camaraderie of the skateboarders outside the shop, and returns the following day. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
accurate.
That's an accurate
That
statement.
is what happens in the movie.
Yeah. He's like hanging out. He has like no friends,
Mm.
and he sees all those kids hanging out at the skate shop, having a grand old time. And he keeps going back. He gets his own skateboard from his brother.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
He trades him
All of his
Super
games.
Nintendo games.
Yeah.
This movie's very 90s.
Yeah.
Pretty spot on. Not overly. It doesn't overdo it.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's very subtle.
Doesn't shove it down your throat.
Yeah, like I like how the movie's in the old aspect ratio instead of being widescreen. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
4 to 3.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, just like the lighting, even the audio is like dated.
Yeah,
Like, it's just
in the film, like they should definitely shot it on film, and you can see like, the graininess of it,
Yeah.
which could be a filter from post.
Yeah, I wonder if they
production.
I wonder if he tried to film it with like old 90s technology.
I don't
That would have
know.
been cool.
Yeah, maybe the fax man can tell us about that.
Yeah, I'll let you know when it's my segment, okay?
Sorry, yeah. Step on your toes.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
All right, so then he trades his older brother, Super Nintendo cartridges for a really old 80s skateboard that's clearly not meant
Looks
for
like
doing
it's out
tricks.
of rocket power.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a rock power.
yeah.
It's like, but it looks like it has
It's got the bumpers on
Nintendo
it.
character. I mean, not Nintendo, Nickelodeon characters on it or something like for kids.
It almost looked like Reptar from Rugrats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the next day he goes to the skate shop. He's like just hanging out there. Like it's so weird. He just like walks in and becomes their friend.
Yeah.
Without really any effort. Just walks in,
he's a
hangs
little
out. Yeah, they're like, okay, this little kid can sit there and hang out.
Well, yeah, because at first, you're gonna say that Ruben talks to him first.
Yeah, he sits down. It's that kid Ruben, who's like, if the main kid's 12, I'd say Ruben's probably 14.
Yeah, I'd say
Right.
2 years old tops.
Yeah. Then the other kids are probably around 3 to 4 years older, like 17, 18.
Yeah.
Kind of.
16, 17.
Yeah. So Ruben starts talking to him and starts to befriend him, and like they make Stevie like their little errand boy at first.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, he goes and fills the water jug.
Yeah. And he becomes the young kid in the group. And then they start hanging out a little, not montage, but like scenes of them hanging out. Then at one point they go to that rooftop where they're gonna skate it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's that big gap. And the black kid Ray, he does it really. He's like the best skateboarder.
Yeah,
in the
he's
group.
the best one.
And then the other kid,
And then fuck shit does it.
Fuck shit does it. He's
Oh
good.
my God.
And then
Ruben goes to do it.
Yeah, they tell Ruben to jump it, and he's about to do it. He bails, doesn't do it.
Yeah.
And then Stevie, like out of nowhere,
He just
starts
builds
going.
up the courage and he just starts. And he's not even a good skater. He's
No.
like kind of bad at it.
He's
He's
bad
like
at it.
knees are shaking.
And he's going wicked slow, too slow.
Yeah.
to
Way too
jump
slow.
the gap.
Yeah,
And-
he doesn't push at all. He just literally lets the angle of the roof kind of just like give him speed.
Oh my god!
Which
he falls, and
is-
it was so loud because
Uh-huh.
first we had the sound up a little too high.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he hits that picnic table
He
and he falls
falls
to
through
that
the gap, falls about 8 feet
Yeah.
onto a
Right-
picnic table.
right into his face. It was so realistic looking.
Oh,
Oh my god! So what happens next?
they run down. They
They run down. They see if he's all right. He's bleeding out of his head. So they wrap his shirt around his head, and they wrap that kid Ruben's shirt around his head.
yeah.
And he's bleeding on the head. He goes home. His mom's stitching him up. What happens next? I'm trying to think.
And she brings him to the skate shop, right?
No, that's after he parties.
Oh, that's
He
right.
goes back the next. Well, I know eventually he goes right back the next.
She's
day.
definitely becoming like aware of like he's hanging out with like reckless people.
Yeah.
Like there's that scene.
And then you also start to see that she's like a terrible mom.
she has like guys over and
There's
she's
like guys,
banging them.
different people constantly leaving the
Like,
house. Like,
Not only are you a guy at a lady who has kids, like you're walking out, there's kids there, but he's walking out and he's zipping up his
he's
fly.
doing
Yeah.
like basically like she's a prostitute.
Yeah, like what is going on here? And like his older brother's all PO'd. Like
You know who that guy was? It
who?
was a little cameo.
No,
How he's
that's-
zipping up his pants.
That's the writer from Kids.
really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie, Kids.
Yeah, I've never seen it either.
Huh.
You never seen it?
No.
Who's
No.
seen it? Oh, I think it might be
Holland. Well, ironically, when I talked to Holland before this, he had seen mid-90s, and he's like, it's like Kids, but not as depressing.
I heard that movie Kids is fucked up.
yeah.
I've never seen it. We should watch that someday.
Yeah,
Maybe for a
820
different podcast.
A24.
Yeah. We'll start another
Yeah.
one. Fuck
We'll,
it.
we'll start making up movies that A24 is done.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kids.
Next week on
Avatar by
Yeah.
A24.
Fast and the Furious.
All right. What happens next?
You know what we should do?
What?
We should do like a special thing where, because we have so many followers on Instagram, we could put one of those posts for like over a week, or I don't know, that you vote, and we could have a couple movies to choose from.
See if anyone votes.
See if anyone votes.
And Luke would vote and make us do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could put up like the next 3 A24 movies we're considering,
Yeah.
and then see if anybody votes.
I just
on
want to
it.
get our large audience involved.
We should.
What
Yeah,
do the
follow us on
people
Instagram.
want? What do the people want?
Yeah, go to Real Facts Network on Instagram.
Yeah. Follow us up.
Follow us up.
Give us a listen. Give us a like.
All right, let's get back to the movie. All right,
Okay,
so after
back
that, he's still hanging out with the friends. Stevie begins smoking and drinking and they start smoking weed and popping Ritalin.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And like they go to a party and they're all hanging out, partying it up. And then a girl takes aside Stevie and they're talking. And Stevie's got game.
He's got some game.
Yeah.
He's got some game. For a 12-year-old, he can spit it.
Yeah.
And she takes him to the bedroom and they both strip down to their panties and boxers.
Yep.
And she's hot.
Yeah.
She's
And
full-
Stevie is a child.
Yeah, he looks like a little kid.
He's a 12-year-old boy.
So they start kissing. He's a little reluctant. Then she gets him back.
Coaches him.
Yeah, coaches him through it. They start kissing. Then he walks out all dressed. And then he starts bragging about how he fingered her and
Yeah.
And she touched his penis.
touched his dick. It's a great scene. And Ruben looks all pissed off. He's like, "Oh, they like him better than me.
Yeah.
He's so much cooler than me." Yeah. So that after that, that's when he goes home. He's all drunk, and then him and his brother get in a fight.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Oh my god, he's chasing around.
Chasing around the house, and he goes and takes the orange juice.
He takes his brother orange juice, his favorite item in the house. So then, the brother punches him in the face like multiple times. Like,
Yeah,
brutal.
Yeah, full strength.
Full strength. Well, before this whole scene is when the brother is walking by the friends when they're hanging out outside.
Oh, yeah, and
yeah.
Stevie's there.
And that kid, shit fuck shit.
Yeah.
Shit fuck.
Fuck shit bumps into him and then like starts mocking him and almost like egging him on to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically tells him to fuck off.
Yeah.
And the brother just pusses out and walks away.
Yeah. Looks like a bitch.
Yeah, total bitch.
So then they're fighting, and then the next day, also that scene is when after they both fight each other, Stevie attempts to asphyxiate himself with a cord from his Super Nintendo controller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tries to like choke himself out.
Yeah, and like throughout the movie, like twice that, like he like takes his hairbrush early in the movie,
And like scrapes his leg.
scrapes his leg. He's like
Yeah.
doing weird like
Yeah, he's doing like self-harm stuff
self-harm. It's odd.
because he can't deal with. Obviously, they have no dad,
Yeah, no
Yeah.
dad.
and the mom just sleeps around and doesn't really intervene that much.
No, not a great parent.
Yeah, she's not around because even in that fight, which he comes home obviously super late. I was waiting for the mom to come out and be like, "Get off of him," but
Yeah.
she never came. So.
Right? No one's stopping the brother from full on wailing on him. Like,
So the next day, the mom takes him to the skate shop to yell at the boys he's been hanging out with, and they're kind of like, not taking it too serious.
mhm.
One of them mentions the fingering.
yeah, and fucking blows it.
Oh god.
And then the next scene, he just comes right back.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
next scene he's hanging out by himself and he's all PO'd, and the black kid Ray comes up and starts telling him a pretty sad story about his brother a few years ago died from getting hit by a car.
Yeah,
So then them two hang out, and you're like, oh, okay, this he's gonna learn some life lessons from the kid Ray who doesn't really drink or smoke and is kind of taking skating serious.
yeah,
So he'll learn something. Take him under his wing. But
Right.
then the next scene, they're partying up again.
yeah. And he's
Yeah.
getting all fucked up. He's drinking a whole 40 to his face.
Yeah, they're drinking 40s, smoking weed at this party at the skate shop, and then fucking Stevie and fucking Ruben get in a fight,
Oh yeah.
and then
Stevie whoops his ass.
Stevie kind of whisks his ass a little bit. And then also Ray and that kid fuck shit.
Fuck
Fuck
shit.
shit.
Fuck
yeah.
shit.
Shit. Fuck.
He's like the kid Ray's like embarrassed by him because he's like drinking too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's looking like a fool.
he's looking like a fool in front of the professional Big Brother skateboarders.
Mm.
Oh yeah. The guys that are like semi-pro or
Yeah,
whatever.
semi-pro from Big Brother. Which have you seen that documentary on Hulu?
No, I
Oh, it's
haven't.
bomb.
Is it?
Really?
You watch it, right?
No.
Oh no, I watched it by myself. It's bomb.
Huh.
No shit.
It's about Big Brother the magazine. Jeff Tremaine and stuff from
Yeah.
from Jackass.
Yeah.
That's how Chris Pontius, Johnny Knoxville got started.
Wow.
It's a good documentary. It's awesome. It's got all of them. Wee Man.
Yeah. So those guys are like guys from that magazine, and they take notice of Ray because of how committed he is to skating and
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah.
then fuck shit kind of
yeah, he's just
fucks it up.
yeah, he's just being a
too-
clown.
He's being.
like,
a
he's got the
clown.
talent of a skateboarder, but he's just a clown. He's like
yeah, he doesn't take it
not taking it
serious.
serious at all. And then after that, the party's over. They're all hanging out, and that kid fuck shit is like, let's go to the girl's house, let's go party more.
Oh
And
yeah.
they're like, they're all reluctant, but they agree. So they get in his car.
Just get in the car anyway.
And you're like, as soon as that happened, you're like, oh god, here we
Yeah,
go.
here we go. This is-
Car crash.
Who's
Yeah.
gonna die?
Who's gonna die? So they're driving, and all of a sudden they keep
just get
showing their
blindsided,
faces, and all of a sudden they
He
just
must,
crash.
like, run a red light or something.
Yeah,
Get
something
blindsided.
happened. And then all of a sudden it cuts to black. Then it goes to them, and the car is tipped on their side, and it shows Stevie, and the car is like on his arm.
Yeah,
It is crushed.
and he's unconscious.
He's unconscious. They're all freaking out. And then the next scene they're in the hospital. Stevie
Has a cast.
has a cast on. His brother gives him an orange juice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice little scene between them. The brothers
Olive
finally.
branch extended.
Yeah, like their relationship is starting to get a tiny bit better.
Right.
And then the mom goes out into the waiting room, sees all the skater bros hanging out, and she sees like, okay, these really are his friends.
Yeah, they care about him.
So she invites them to go see him, and then they're sitting there in fourth grade. The kid, fourth grade, one of their friends,
Mm-hmm.
whips out his camera that he's been recording throughout the whole time. And
It's like his thing. He's the kid with the camera.
Yeah, he's
he
like
doesn't
the
really talk
yeah.
much. He's like the dude from American Beauty.
Yeah, with the bag. Well, no, that was in the
not another teen movie.
not in that teen movie when they make fun of the kid.
Yeah.
So then he said, "Let me show you guys something." He puts the camcorder on the TV. Then it's like
It's like a montage of the last 6 months.
of all them hanging out, having such a good time.
And it's professional level.
Oh, great
skateboard
editing.
video.
Yeah, it's amazing. And they're all hanging out, having such a good time. Then cuts to black.
Mm.
Just a bunch of friends
Yeah.
hanging out.
Nice
Nice
little
little
coming of
in the
age.
mid-90s.
A bunch of friends hanging
Yeah.
out.
Oh, the times you cherish in the mid-90s.
I know.
Yep, that's the plot. Pretty simple.
Yeah, it's just a coming of age story that kind of tells a cool like perspective of what it was like to grow up when you kind of weren't supervised super heavily.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids that couldn't leave the house, had to be home, like weren't allowed to do whatever they wanted.
In the
But this is
90s,
kind of like what
in
it
the
was.
90s hasn't really been that explored yet in movies. Like only a few movies have really,
Yeah.
like what was that movie, The Strangeness?
Which one was that?
No, The Whackness.
Oh, yeah.
Not The Strangeness.
Oh,
Remember the movie The
yeah.
Whackness?
Yeah, well,
The
I'm
kid
trying
from
to...
Drake and Josh Peck.
Really?
You ever seen that movie?
No.
Remember he's like sells weed in New York
Yes.
in the 90s. He like tells that girl, he's like, "I love you, shorty."
Yeah, but I didn't watch all the way through, but I do that. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like
yeah.
a 90s movie.
Oh, okay.
I know that movie Lady Bird, which we'll do eventually, A24 movie. That takes place in the 90s too.
And I guess too, like, generation-wise, they probably waiting to give it a little bit of time because
Mhm.
it's like,
Yeah, like people from the 90s are just getting old enough now to like make movies.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, told a good perspective of that and what it's like to come from a broken home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe some of the stuff could have been flushed out a little better. We didn't really get to see total story arc with the brother, like what his whole deal is.
And
and,
sometimes
like,
it was a little jarring, to be honest, because like you don't know their backstory enough to where like their aggressive behavior towards each other. Like, I wish they hinted towards more like the father. If there was like something to do with the father, maybe the father died.
Yeah,
Or
You know, they don't hint enough towards
Yeah.
what's going on there.
Yeah.
You know, and like they're just super aggressive and like.
Yeah. And then the mother like was kind of weird, like how she cared enough to like take him to the skateboard place and like scream at the kids, and like she didn't dress like a crazy person.
No,
like
like
it
the
was,
scene she was in, she was a good mom.
it seemed
then-
like she was a good mom, but then like then it was like, oh, there's like the guy's leaving the house, and like that she's just not like letting. Like she's just not stopping any of this from happening, especially like the brother's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like she doesn't care that the older brother beats the fucking crap out of the kid, and like
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
that's
and,
not
like,
alarming
they
at
stole
all.
money, like he like coerced the younger brother into stealing the money and
Mhm.
splitting it so they could get whatever they wanted, and like it's obviously the older brother stealing the money, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
And
But
it
like,
seems like the older brother is getting away with like bloody murder. in
yeah,
this
and
movie.
then there was that
Mm.
scene where they're like they're sitting down playing Super Nintendo, and he's like they're kind of being nice to each other, and he's like, oh, like the older brother's saying to him, he's like, oh, your friends are faggots, and he's like, I would have whooped that kid's ass, you know. And then he was like, Mom was different before when I was younger, and I think he was saying she was worse.
yeah,
Yeah,
she was definitely saying that she was worse.
She was worse. So maybe like some whatever happened, they might have different dads.
They might, yeah. Do you think they hinted at that?
I think like maybe they're from
Could be.
different men, and maybe like neither of the guys stuck around because she just sleeps with all these guys for whatever reason.
Yeah,
There's,
'cause the older
dudes in
brother
and out of the
definitely
house.
resents the younger Sunburn as well because, like he said, he was like, she's been like different with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that too, like that perspective where like the mom, she's kind of there, like she cares, and she's probably done a little bit better with him, but she's just still not that great of a present mom.
And there's like a decent gap between them. It's like a good 5.
Yeah,
because he's
6
18.
years.
Because she says when they're eating
their 18th
dinner.
birthday. Yeah. His birthday was depressing.
Oh yeah, he gets him a present, a CD.
Yeah.
Like he even does the research,
His
like what
birthday-
CDs he doesn't
His
have.
birthday was so depressing.
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
like they're sitting there
There's
and like
no friends.
Stevie. Yes, he has no friends.
And like, are they new in town? Maybe.
They did kind of hint that because at one point he was wearing a Chicago Blackhawks hat,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, so maybe they moved to LA, and that's why they both don't have friends.
They both don't have
Yeah,
friends.
yeah,
Or
they're
don't
new
know
here.
anybody. Maybe that would make a little more sense.
Yeah, but they don't hint at it enough.
Because it's all because of the mom, but they don't tell the mom's story.
There's definitely some story stuff that is not fleshed out enough.
It's a lot from the perspective of Stevie,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like he doesn't even know all the details, and that's why we don't.
Yeah,
Which
is fine. The movie's short and sweet. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was 2 hours, it could have been a little. Because some of the acting by those kids at certain points in the movie, I was like, ew, like,
Yeah.
like the kid, fuck shit was probably the worst
He was
actor in the
pretty
movie.
cringy.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. The kid Ruben was pretty bad at certain points.
But I mean, the movie got away with it because it didn't take itself too seriously. I think the worst acting I saw was the semi-pro guys. Those fake semi or whatever they were.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When they talked, it was bad.
Yeah, they
That
were
was
bad. Yeah.
Touch my hair.
He touched my hair, man.
Do you think those were real skateboarders?
They might have been.
They had to have
Probably.
been.
And
They
that's
had to
why
have been.
they sucked at acting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the movie was well paced with good soundtrack. That's the thing that really elevated this movie a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Great 90s rap, some good 90s rock.
The taste of the 90s was good.
Yeah.
It did seem a little like maybe a little too much. Whereas like I feel like he took a lot of things that were like maybe you would have had some 90s stuff in your bedroom, I would have, and you would have, and like he took all that and combined it into one bedroom. It's like, man, this kid's got everything.
Yeah, like in the beginning when he rips down his posters, he he had like everything 90s in there.
Yeah, and like his brother has like weights, and he's got a whole wall of cassette tapes, and he's got jerseys and Jordans, like Jordans in the 90s, like
Yeah, that
when
was
these
one
shoes
thing.
were first coming out.
When they showed his room with all those sneakers, I was like, did they had money at one? Like,
Yeah,
that's
I
where
don't
was
get
a
it.
little
Yeah,
bit-
because like their house wasn't bad.
Right.
And they had
Yeah.
like a lot of stuff.
Right.
Like Super Nintendo and PlayStation. They did a PS1.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
little uncommon.
Like that shit was
for-
not cheap then.
No.
But it kind of seemed like it was like all the 90s stuff in one house. Like it
Yeah.
was kind of like a stereotype.
Yeah.
It was very like
And also the kids who work at the skate shop,
unsupervised.
unsupervised. You never see a manager or an
Yeah,
owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're just working there. They're having parties in the back,
Mhm.
underage drinking parties. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
where the fuck is the owner?
Right.
with
How
all
does
that
this shop
merchandise.
make any money?
Yeah. So like stuff like that is what I think stops this movie from being better than it could have been because the blueprint was there. I thought they had the actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid actors.
The
were
kid
good.
Stevie is definitely an up and coming star. I mean, he was in God of War as Kratos' son Atreus. He was in that other movie that we're
and
going to do
God
eventually.
of War was like pretty much a full blown acting role for him.
And not only
because
that,
he
it's
plays
longer
him-
than a movie.
He plays himself. It's not like he's just doing the voice for
Mhm.
some like obscure character. The character is
Mm.
him as a child. It's his face. It's his exact voice. It's like, it's like kind of. I can imagine it being a lot of acting.
And it's like 30 hours.
Yeah, and they
he's
have to
got-
wear those suits and do the whole
Yeah.
body stuff and everything too.
All right, now let's shift over to the effects man.
Oh, now you're ready for me.
Yeah, we're ready for it. Take your
sorry.
time. No biggie.
Well, I know we talked about how the movie was shot.
yeah.
It actually, Jonah Hill did shoot the entire movie on 16 millimeter film.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
which really gave that authentic feel,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of nice to do that versus just some Instagram filter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he could have shot it like how they do now, like digital, and put like a filter over it.
Yeah,
But
but no, it had that authentic feel.
yeah,
Very
very mid-90s.
So, interesting enough, Jonah Hill in an interview admitted that he was pretty worried about how many times they used like the word faggot in certain things. And
Yeah.
wasn't sure how people were going to take it and didn't want to be accused of being, a bigot. But when he So what he did was he actually came up with the scene and shot it where the kids kind of discuss if they should be using that kind of language almost.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he showed it to the scene producer, he asked Jonah, he's like, well, is that something that you would have talked about back then? Which, of course, he said no.
Yeah.
And he said, then he's like, you have to leave that out of the film because that's how it was. And if you add that into the film, more people will be offended. Because it was almost like you thought about it.
Yeah.
And like still did, he was like, so that's.
Like once you acknowledge that it's bad,
Yeah.
like people will pick up on it more.
Exactly, yeah. Which, and the thing about it too is, nowadays everything's so PC, but that was how it was.
Yeah, in the
You know what I
90s,
mean?
right? Yeah.
Like even when we were younger, I remember being like
10
fag.
Yeah, we said fag so much in high school. That was only 10 years ago.
Yeah, not even that, but even like obviously retard, like that became a no-no. And then, I mean, it's crazy to think that how faggot has become. Like I even have like, I never used to cringe saying it, faggot.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's like I have the back of my tongue. It's kind of like it comes out like a slug.
You can't say if you said faggot or retard like in
Fucking
a public
faggot,
place.
retard? Oh my
Yeah.
god!
People will look at you.
Yeah.
Those are no words now.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, I'm glad because it would have been really bad if he had a scene. Because
if he acknowledges it, then it takes away from the innocence of doing it. Whereas it's just a group of kids speaking how they think you're supposed to talk and what's cool.
So that 16 millimeter film really got to some people in the sense it confused them because after a test screening, the projectionist said to the filmmakers that it was so cool that they found a movie from the 90s that they were releasing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
because I'm sure when you think about a projectionist, if you did it on 16 millimeter film, is that how you would then project the film, or can you like shoot it in that and then use a digital?
Yeah. It's probably on digital because movie theaters aren't even on. They don't even use movie reels.
Right,
it's like a black box that they get.
So I wonder. I wouldn't be surprised if like their first showing, because they did go to the Toronto.
Oh yeah, Toronto
Festival.
International.
So I wonder,
TIFF, as Tom knows, TIFF.
TIFF. Yes.
Oh yeah, TIFF.
Yes.
I wonder if they went full hipster and like brought the actual
Could've.
16 millimeter and then be like, oh wow, look at this.
Yeah. Break out the fucking reel.
Yeah. Now, the last thing that I at least wanted to, because we talked about it, was in the end of the film, they have the car crash, and we were saying, like, I actually joked and was like, I wonder if it was about Jonah Hill, because I know he has that really bad scar on his arm. And sure enough, that actually is true. So in middle school, he found out his mother was suffering from cancer, and his grades ended up dropping, and he began smoking weed, skateboarding, and rebelling. And at 15, when him and a friend went on a joyride in an SUV, is when they got in the accident. Apparently, his friend was just recklessly turning back and forth on the wheel and Jonah Hill had his arm out of the window until they lost control and the SUV actually flipped.
Holy shit.
So I'm assuming, like in the movie, where it's like, tucked underneath the car is what actually ended up happening to him. And Jonah ended up saying, like, what he remembers was just waking up in the hospital bed and like hearing the doctors talk about if it has to be amputated or not. And then, of course, his parents were extremely upset and crying. So after that, he took the scar as a reminder to keep his nose clean and just work hard.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I always wondered. I mean, obviously, certain physical things actors will do a really good job not to be photographed with. Like when he was obviously up and coming, you saw it more, and then it really I didn't see it ever.
Yeah, you don't really see it much anymore. But I remember seeing when it was Fat Jonah Hill, like really Fat Jonah Hill. Like, you saw it a lot.
Oh yeah, all
like
the time.
Grandma's Boy. I remember seeing that arm scar.
Yeah.
Well, it's like what's her face. Megan Fox with the toe thumbs.
Oh yeah,
yeah. She's got hardcore toe thumbs.
Yeah,
she cannot wear sandals in movies.
Yeah, no,
that's a big no-no.
No, toe thumbs.
No, her thumbs are like shortened.
Yeah, have you ever seen? Remember that
said
girl's
toes out here?
Yeah,
feet.
Remember that girl Sam Bosch?
Yeah,
I mean, hers weren't that bad, but I know she had stubby thumbs. But yeah, Megan Fox has like what they call toe thumb, where it's like almost doesn't even look like it has a knuckle, and it's just like a big toe on your.
It's like smaller.
Imagine
it's
that.
like chopped at the top.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it looks weird.
It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah. It's fucking second.
She went from a 10 to a 6.
Yeah, I know.
1.
It's like shallow how. I don't like her. She's got a bad toe.
So not many facts, huh?
But you want me to give you more?
Yeah, keep going.
What do you mean?
Give me one more.
All right, I'll give you another one.
All right,
I didn't want to keep piling them on.
The facts are so good, we want some more.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I want to know more about this movie. I think it's an interesting movie. Jonah Hill's first.
What do you think the movie was on? Take a wild guess. It came out in 1990. The movie that Stevie's mom was watching during the Blockbuster night when he went outside skateboarding and then came back in.
Oh my god!
What do you think
I
it
remember
was?
the TV being
okay,
on.
so it was 1990. I'll give you a better hint.
A movie from 1990.
Italian movie. I'll give you that. 1990 Italian.
It's a movie that we know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a real movie. Obviously a real movie. But it came out in 1990. And it's an
Goodfellas
Italian.
Didn't even come. Was it later than that?
What was it?
Godfather.
Godfather Part 3?
No, Goodfellas.
It was Goodfellas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow. That was on in that part?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did notice the TV, and for a split second, I was like, "Oh, I wonder what movie that is."
Yeah, because that was the scene before. She's like, "Oh, we can do a blockbuster night." And he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna skateboard," and then he was out, and then went in at the at the
Wow,
end of the
Goodfellas was
night.
1990, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was on.
Man, that's earlier than I would have guessed.
Yeah. I thought it was a little later than that.
There was also some little I noticed. It's not worth bringing up, but some spoof things where during filming, when they're on their skateboards, you see a modern day Camry drive off in the distance.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That is-
Amateur
yeah.
hour.
There was like a handful of.
I
Things
was
like
kind of
that.
looking for it too because I was looking at all the cars. I was like, oh wow, they got a lot of 90s
Yeah.
models for cars.
Like when he goes into the restroom after he smokes a cigarette and he does all that shit to clean up and smell good.
Mm-hmm.
There's a logo of that gas station, but it's like a modern day logo instead of the 90s logo. So where do you think Jonah Hill where do you think he was going when he left in the middle of a production meeting for the movie? He said, I got to go to this place, and it's in Wyoming, and a rapper is having a party.
I think I've heard that story.
Yeah, Kanye West
Kanye,
album
yeah,
release party was in Wyoming.
He told that story on Howard Stern.
Did he? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he
told
was
it.
in the middle of a production meeting for this movie, and he ditched the meeting for. A
Yeah,
party?
I don't know what led up to it, but it just says that he left
I
the
forgot. It was
production
it was
meeting.
when he was on Howard Stern promoting this movie over a year ago. He was telling the story about he was in a car with Kanye's bodyguards and weird shit. I forgot.
Skipping out on work for a party.
Yeah.
This movie was the person who did the score was Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
The beeper guy in the very beginning was the design production or whatever.
really?
Yeah, for the movie.
They said two of the hobos. I saw that. Where did I see that? Two of the hobos.
I noticed one.
Yeah, one was Chad Muska,
Oh.
was it?
the skateboarder, and
See, I noticed an
Word.
old guy, but he wouldn't. No one. He's like that Steve Brule character that what's his face from Step Brothers? Not Will Ferrell. I always forget his
John
name.
C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly
Yeah.
plays John. Do you ever see that Steve Brule? Dr. Steve Brule. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
from,
yeah. Tim and Eric.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
There's a character that always reoccurs in those skits. This weird old guy, Mr. Brown, that he calls, and I noticed him in the back, but no one
Oh,
would
really?
recognize him.
Oh.
He's just one of those random extra
Oh, wow.
actors. Because Tim and Eric love to do that on their shows, have older actors, no names, just random people, do stuff on their shows.
How weird of you to notice, Chase.
Yeah.
you have
Very
such a-
observant.
such a-
Well, Mr.
you-
Brown, because if
you're-
Znatsko's not listening, but
you are a true facts man.
yeah.
All right, let's go over to Tom. With
The reviews?
The review man.
The reviews are in.
Tom's review corner.
All right. I'm going to do the good one first.
Okay.
8 out of 10. Embrace the nostalgia slash clicks. Sure, it might not be the most original take on the coming-of-age story. Jonah Hill even admitted it is a movie built on tropes. But what makes it unique is the chemistry and exuberance shared between the 5 boys. It's also irreverent AF.
As fuck.
Which feels incredibly refreshing. The easy comparison would be The Sandlot, a nostalgic tale of friendship shared over passion. This has a deeper emotional layer that feels at times like Short-Term 12. I haven't seen that. And also like that movie I predicted what took place in the mid-90s. And that's it.
That's the review.
That's the review.
Okay.
I like it because it kind of... Because it does talk about... A lot of the good reviews were kind of I don't know. It was all people saying I grew up in the 90s, and it's if you were born in 1996, I don't really give a fuck what you think about this movie. I want someone that's gonna maybe more talk about what movies it's how it's a coming of age story.
It does kind of remind me of Sandlot, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, Jonah Hill. His influences were kids, the Sandlot, and then there was another movie I'd never heard of.
It's kind of like Stand By Me-ish.
Yeah.
a group of friends that are kind of like the ragtag group. You know what I mean? That all get along. And
It's
stuff
definitely
like that.
Sandlot with skateboards.
Yeah.
Instead of being the 60s, it's the 90s.
A lot of people compared it to that movie, the Kids or whatever, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
No, I wish
Yeah,
I
I guess
have.
Kids is a
I've
little
heard
bit
of that movie
grittier.
many times.
All right, now the bad one.
Okay.
3 out of 10. Things happened. I wasn't bored. There isn't very much positivity I can say about this film.
Oh,
What
jeez.
the fuck?
What else can I say? Things happened and it was never boring. However, what did happen was completely unbelievable and left the audience with the nagging question, why? I will not echo other reviewers and except to say that I agree that Hill tried a little too hard with the t-shirts and music, and I really hate to nitpick it, but someone who was in my late teens and the early 2000s / mid-90s, this film rings hollow. It's like Jonah Hill didn't even try for accuracy with the female characters in behavior or how they dressed. Their mother was a total cipher. There was literally nothing memorable about her except that she was obviously a terrible parent with no sense of fashion or self-worth, and with serious personal issues that were undealt with both in the film and in her fictional personal life. There is no way a 16-year-old popular girl would want anything to do with a 10-year-old prepubescent boy, or that on the off chance she was drunk or high, they would ever hook up. There is no way she would ever openly discuss this with her female peers. Like, hey guys, I just let a 3rd grader fuck me. Yeah, right. Less than 10% of what transpired was remotely plausible, and I think Jonah Hill must have been trying to craft some kind of memoir of the crazy life he wished he had. Why? I have no idea. But clearly there was also the desire to exercise some visual directional chops with the silly, unoriginal montages that include the closing sequence of the movie. It's like he made this movie because he could. And while I can definitely say I was entertained, in quotation marks, for an hour and a half, I wouldn't risk recommending this film to anyone else with serious qualification. If you have a hankering to see a group of kids do extremely stupid things with zero adult supervision, I would suggest Kids or even Requiem for a Dream, which is such a weird comparison to this movie.
Yeah.
This
It's a
movie,
hardcore drug movie.
this movie seemed like
saying watch Spun. That movie Spun.
yeah. This movie seemed like it might be trying for some kind of lesson, but it ended up being a total waste of time. And that was
He put so much effort in that
this
review.
is
Yeah.
the most voted on review of
Wow.
all the reviews.
I mean, as far as him saying, like we mentioned the room stuff, yeah, they had a few things in the room, but I don't think as the movie, besides that scene, it wasn't like we were constantly being strangled.
If anything, it was the music. The music was most overly 90s shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the mom thing, like, oh, the mom, like, you know, barely not being I don't know, maybe the way that they wrote it and shot it was because they wanted her to, like, she's trying to do the best that she can, but she's just still not there. So that's why she's not, like, around. You know what I feel like? So I feel like that mom thing, it's just kind of, maybe they did it on purpose to meant to
And also,
be like that.
we already acknowledge it. There's some underdeveloped characters in the movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the movie
And the
definitely
mom is definitely one of them.
the movie definitely doesn't take itself super serious.
No.
Yeah, no.
But I don't think it's that inaccurate.
No, and the movie is definitely grounded in reality too. It's not like
some of
crazy.
it was a little much, like the skateboard park with like literally like 100 people all hanging out, and there's like all walks of life. Like that was a little unrealistic.
Oh, maybe in the 90s in LA it could have been like that. You got skater
Skid
bros, you
Row.
got hobos.
I mean, yeah,
Could
I'm
have
sure.
been.
I guess on Venice Beach and stuff. Yeah, I guess you could probably
Yeah,
have
I
a
mean,
mix of
LA
people
is-
like that.
Different than here. I mean, they have probably tons of homeless.
A lot of bums.
Yeah.
Actually, on that podcast I was listening to, that guy Dr. Drew was on it,
Uh-huh.
and they were just talking about because fucking Bobby Lee's girlfriend was like sick, and then she was talking about like it was like the Norwalk virus or whatever
Uh-huh.
going around, and then he was like, oh well, there's actually a problem with a stomach bug going around because I guess they have a lot of problems in San Francisco or San Diego with the homeless
With San
just
Francisco,
shitting.
I've heard that.
Yeah, just
Oh,
shitting
wow.
like everywhere.
Yeah.
So he was saying that like people were getting sick, and the strain was basically because of all the shit that people are leaving
Getting on
everywhere.
everything.
I heard San Francisco has a terrible homeless problem.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
disgusting.
yeah. Like it's
It's
wicked
insane.
bad. Like I've heard like in other states, I don't know if it was there, like where like they'll try to like go give homeless people like bus tickets and shit.
Get the fuck out of
Send
here.
them somewhere.
I mean, I don't know. I guess just some of it seemed a little.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
pushed.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
Definitely
lot of
movie.
people there.
It's definitely
Yes,
a
that
movie.
could be unrealistic.
Yeah.
There's a
Right, right.
lot of people in that
But
scene.
then again, growing up, I did a lot of fucked up shit when I was a kid. Man, I went to a lot of parties. I went to more parties in high school than I did like in my early 20s.
Yeah.
You know, and I fucking first time I did cocaine when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
Like we had a party and people were doing cocaine and getting fucked up and there's people hooking up.
Yeah.
It's actually not that unrealistic.
The only semi-unrealistic part is that he's 12.
He's
also a
12
kid.
and hooked up with a
That is the most unrealistic part
with
of the
the
movie.
cute, you know, 16-year-old.
Oh, cute. She
the
was
hot
fucking
one.
like a 9.
Like she's the hot
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because like Jonah, like he got in that car accident in 15, and he said it was in middle school. I don't know. So maybe that young kid is like, you know, just in middle school now or going through it. But I'm surprised. I don't know like why he made him so young instead of being like him being 15.
He could, I guess. I don't know. There was this freshman when I was a junior named Matt, and he was tiny,
Yeah.
but he was 14.
Yeah. I mean,
So
he
I
could
guess
be younger.
he could have been 12, 13 years old.
He was 12. He looked like a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
no, but I'm saying I
was.
went to school with the kid who looked
Yeah.
12 years old when he was 14 or 15 years old.
Yeah.
True.
Like he was tiny. He was just
True.
Even to this day, he's a tiny person.
Yeah.
But I think they're insinuating, like she says, like, yeah, you're right before. I think it's
Definitely
meaning,
not 10. Like some people are saying
That
in
guy
the reviews.
said 10 in the review.
no,
No,
12 would make
he's
sense.
definitely 12. He's right before teenager.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
because I was 14.
12,
I had turned
13,
14
maybe.
right before 8th grade, so then 13, 12. Yeah, so it would make sense if he was, you know.
He's in middle school.
It was a little weird for the girl to hook up with him, but I guess like I mean, we had younger kids that hung out with us. Like there was this kid Brandon that hung out with us because when I was a junior, senior, we did this thing that we called like adopt a freshman, where we would like take a freshman and like make him hang out with us after school and like smoke weed with him for the first time ever and like watch a freshman get all fucked up. And this one kid, Brandon, was like actually cool. And then he ended up like hanging out with people. And then also I have a friend, Kaylee, whose younger brother, Michael, hung out with us when we were like getting fucked up. And he was young. Like he was like 12, 13 years old.
Well,
And we were like 16,
believable.
17.
Well, I remember Sammy G, Amy's brother, younger
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
He was always
about
with
that
us.
And
he was-
usually those kids are always like, oh, that kid's the man, dude, you know, because he's young. Like,
Yeah.
so everyone's kind of looking out for him, like making sure no one's fucking with him. But then, like, at the same time, he's doing stuff he shouldn't,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah,
drinking
for
and
sure.
smoking
For
and
sure.
possibly hooking up with girls.
Yeah. If you're in 6th or 7th grade and you're smoking weed and drinking beers and popping Ritalin, whatever the hell he's doing,
Yeah.
definitely not good.
Finger fucking.
Yeah.
Finger popping each other's assholes.
But even that, like, you were getting blowjobs in middle school.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I was getting blowjobs in middle school. It wasn't.
It wasn't. But
Well,
But
no,
like-
no, what I think of too is, you ever see the movie 13?
Yes.
no.
I love that movie. We watched it at Alana. We were there, right? With Friedman?
Did we watch it?
Alana.
I might have been.
You were definitely there. Wasn't it Alana what?
Alana Shackney?
Yes, we were at her house. Remember?
Maybe. I can't really remember being at her house that much, though.
Do you remember it was her? She had a friend there that wasn't from Barrington, and then she had another friend who was a guy from Boston, he said.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Maybe I was there with Friedman and Greenberg.
Probably.
I don't know why I was
But
there.
anyway,
So
like
odd.
that movie, I remember seeing
So
that, and I was
weird.
like, oh my God, like these girls are so young and doing all this fucked up shit. And I remember being like, is that like what the West Coast is like? Are kids just doing things at a younger age out there?
That movie was 13.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
but we were doing. I was doing fucked up stuff when I was that age.
Yeah.
Well, not 12.
Well,
No,
they-
no,
We were smoking
no.
incense.
Right. But when I was 16, I was 16,
Yeah.
I was doing all
No,
that.
the older kids, we were definitely doing what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I got arrested at 17 for fucking,
Yeah.
drinking in the woods.
Drinking
We were
a
doing
40.
stuff. Yeah. That's realistic. It's just a 12-year-old, partaking it heavily.
Yeah.
It's not like he was just there. Like, he was drinking and
His mom didn't give a fuck.
no.
You know, the
But like I
brother's
said-
beating on him.
She was a decent mom in the scene
Well,
she
you
was
know-
in. That's why a little flawed, her character.
Yeah. I mean, I've known people too that were like, certain kids that were wicked young, and like because their sister's boyfriend or like their older sisters had friends and stuff, so they would hang out with them.
I mean, sometimes people look put together, but then when it comes to being a parent, they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like you meet people and you're like, oh, he's a good guy. He works hard and stuff, and he's got a nice house. But then when it comes to caring about his kids, like his kids are out doing whatever the fuck his kids want to do because he just doesn't give a fuck, or she just doesn't give a fuck. So I mean, I guess it can be, but the weirdest part was just the flood of guys. She didn't look trashy, so it
No.
was weird that she was.
She looked like
Yeah.
a mom.
was weird that she was sleeping with so many people. Like, was she
And the
getting...
brother was just odd. Like, I wish they just acknowledged his like mental health.
Yeah,
Like
I
almost,
bad.
I
He had
almost
like a
wondered.
bench press and all weights
And
in
like
his room.
OCD, he clearly had OCD.
He had
like,
everything.
The way everything was
He had-
sorted and
He had everything. He had all the cool jerseys, all sweet hats, all the shoes,
Yeah.
weights, cassettes, everything.
like Tommy Hilfiger shirts that he like wore all the buttons all the way up.
Chain, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
sweet earrings.
Sweet earrings, haircut, put together.
Yeah, good looking kid. He's just retarded.
It's just insane, dude. He got some crazy. Maybe he like was not even taken care of at all.
Yeah,
That's what I kind of thought. Like, you know how it was like the older brother and the younger brother sitting playing the games, and like mom's in the bedroom and the guy just left. Like, imagine that where it's just him as like that kid's age,
Yeah,
but with not even an older brother.
yeah.
He's just sitting there alone on the couch playing video games. His mom getting railed by some dude,
Ugh.
and like you know, like even like just the motivation for for Stevie to want to leave the house because of his brother, and like fuck it, if I stay at home, I'm gonna get beat up by my brother, so I might as well just go out and hang out with whoever I want.
Uh-huh.
Whereas he might not have even had that type of motivation,
No,
and he just
he's
sat,
definitely a damaged, like
he just
sheltered.
sat in the house and
weird
didn't
kid.
make any friends and didn't come up with any hobbies like skateboarding. You know,
No,
all he had was lifting weights in his room.
yeah. Listen to music.
Poor guy, dude.
Fucking
Poor
loser.
kid. Poor
Loser.
man.
All right, so let's review this out of A24 24s, where we each get 8 points.
And we're doing
We
we
add
can
it
do a
up.
half scale, right?
What?
We
Oh,
can
yeah,
go-
we are doing the half scale. Yes.
Good.
So let's start with you, Chase. You look interested.
6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I was thinking because I still think it was really good. I still think it was really good. So when I was justifying, definitely can't give it an 8. Giving it a 7, I feel like for me to give it a 7, I have to like really like it, would watch it again,
Yeah.
and maybe giving it a 7 because there might be one or two things. So just to not give it a perfect score,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this was just a tad bit under that. You know, still really good,
Yeah.
and I would suggest it to people, but I think it will get lost in the shuffle of movie memories
Yeah,
that
like
I have.
10 years from now, if he makes another movie, that'll just be like, oh, Jonah Hill's first movie. You ever seen it?
Mm.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm not gonna recommend it.
Like
to
as
you,
far
but-
as
Yeah.
far as him as a director, I think it was a successful debut.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely
for sure.
successful debut for to be your first movie. So I mean, for that, you know, is a win in itself. But I mean, as a movie by itself, yeah, it was good. I liked it. It was good.
I think I'm right there with you. I think I'm gonna give it a 6 though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it was a fun movie to watch, but some of the acting, like I said, was kind of poor.
Mhm.
You know, even the good actors in it weren't amazing. Like the brother, who's like one of the best young actors, like he wasn't even that
Yeah,
good in the
yeah.
movie. He could have been better, I thought.
Maybe they could have like written some better
Yeah,
stuff
he
for
just
him.
not enough good enough scenes. And the scenes that he was given to excel and be like these powerful scenes between him and his younger brother, even those were kind of fell flat.
Yeah.
You know, them sitting there staring at Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
or whatever,
the
PlayStation
best
1.
scenes were between the friends.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, and plus the run, the runtime was perfect. I like the score with the music was good. Yeah, I think the just not being able to recommend it or the rewatchability of it
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
take it down a notch. So I'm gonna give it a 6.
Yeah, I'll give it a 5.
Yeah, well, you're
Yeah.
even lower.
Yeah, because
Wow.
I had an 8.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like I
It's not
gave it
2
it a
points.
6 out of 8. So that's actually what? That's like a 60
Yeah.
out of 100.
Yeah, I give it a 5.
Okay. Yeah, that's what, dude.
Yeah, because I think it was kind of the movie's very like it kind of reminded me of what's that punk movie, MLC Punk or whatever.
SLC
yep,
Punk.
SLC
yep.
Punk.
That's a good movie. Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of that, where it's like very amateur.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
Oh, it's definitely indie. Like definitely
Requiem of a
independent
Dream is like it's definitely like a quirky amateur feel to it, but that next level.
oh, it's but that movie
Where
also
the-
has some trippy, crazy drug scenes.
The drug
doesn't it?
scenes
Yeah.
and stuff like that, right? But it's just the production of it is that much better. This was like the sound was off. It was super, super loud at some points, and then you couldn't
Yeah.
hear the dial. And
Yeah.
I get like
Yeah.
I liked the the filming with the 16 millimeter and stuff like that, but it just seemed like the sound could have been maybe a little bit better. And if the sound quality was a little grainy, but the levels,
Mm-hmm.
just
yeah,
work on the levels.
There was some audio mixing.
The grainy I can understand
stuff
because it
going on.
goes with the thing, but like I don't want to have to struggle to. I don't want to have to like play the game of like up with the remote, down with the volume, up with
Yeah.
the volume,
Yeah.
down
Because
volume.
the music was loud and the audio,
and then the sound effects would be
vocals were
really
low.
loud. Like it would cut to like a skating scene, and be like,
Yeah.
and it's like super loud. The cast, like the supporting characters were kind of flawed, like the brother and the mom.
Mm-hmm.
But then
they were flawed, and then the friends were just kind of bad actors.
Yeah.
So.
And then the 90s, like it was pushed a little hard. Like I feel like period maybe films or whatever you want to call them like are always like that. Like it's always movies are always stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
It's always built on tropes and stuff. So, but I think it maybe pushed a little bit hard. But I think the thing that makes the movie the best is like it kind of did capture that feeling of being like a kid on your own, and like it kind of reminded me of like every day after school was just kind of like do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And just like go out and like figure it out and like meet people. And like you don't really like, it's hard when you grow up and you don't draw values from your parents directly and you end up drawing values from the people you meet in life.
Mm-hmm.
And you're constantly just out there like meeting new people and thinking like, oh, this person has it figured out. And like this person's life is so much better. This dude's so cool. Like, oh, wow, I'm hanging out with someone. Remember like that feeling? Like I'm hanging out with someone that's so cool.
He says that in the movie too. The kid says that a few times, like, "Oh, they're so cool.
They're so cool. They're so cool." And then Ray, the black kid, has that moment with him where he's like, the grass always looks greener on the other side. But then he reveals some deep things about the other characters, and then the big one about himself, about his brother dying. And it was like reminded me, like I had this friend Mikey who was like a skater kid, and when I stopped playing football and I started like smoking weed and just hanging out all the time, like it was like. I met him, and he was older. He was a junior, and I was a sophomore. No, he was a senior, and I was a sophomore. And like, he was cool. He fucking skateboarded, and I'd go hang out with him, like the skater kids. And I didn't skate because I was so fucking bad at it. But it was cool to like think like how cool he was, and that really we were super similar, and like just really captured that feeling of growing up, like not on the streets, but just growing up, learning things off your peers and. Those social relationships. That's why it's called
a coming of age film.
Yeah, those social relationships mean so much, and that's where the movie I think gained 5 out of 8 points for me. Whereas like it almost didn't gain it in any other way. Yeah. Maybe a little bit on like just how cool 90s stuff and like the grainy stuff. Yeah, because
it comes, attaches to us because we were from the 90s.
And the actors, like some of the actors did, like the lead actor did a good job. That's on him. You know?
That kid's a good actor.
But as a movie, the movie otherwise didn't do a lot.
I think for what it was, Jonah Hill's first movie, and it was a movie that was supposed to be themed in the 90s. He did well with those.
No, it did good. Yeah, it did good.
But then when you really crack into
this is definitely not a dark spot on his resume.
No. It's
going
awesome.
forward. It's like, okay, yeah, Jonah Hill can direct a movie.
This is better than
now
probably.
Let's tighten it up and focus.
This is better than like 99% of people's first movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about him directing another movie.
What's the total? No, we're going to do this.
The total is 17.5 out of 24 A24s.
Wow.
What does that equate?
Comes out to a 72%.
That's actually Metacritic. It was like 60-something. Mm-hmm. And then I think
it has like an 80 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, and then the user reviews were a little bit higher, but
that's
fair.
This fucking review system, man.
It's not bad.
It's literally been working. I mean, we did give Midsommar 100, which is definitely,
Yeah.
We might have been just like a little like, struck by the movie because we just watched it in the theater.
Yeah.
But I think so far, I think we gave Under the Skin like an 88. I think High Life we gave. I don't know what that was.
That was low.
We give it a low.
I think it was like in the 50s.
50s maybe. So yeah, this is right
I think
there,
I gave it a 1 actually.
You did.
We
give it a 33%.
Yeah,
that's what it came out to. It was dead even 33.
Yeah, I give it a 3.
Yeah, and I gave it a 4. So yeah, so I came out to 8 out of 24. Yeah, so 72%. Yeah, that's pretty. That's right where I think it is.
No, I think
where it
72
deserves
is
to be.
Perfect. Yeah, I still think it's a good movie. Just not Midsommar.
Yeah.
No, I mean.
Could have done.
Midsommar. I want to like watch it again.
Yeah, like Midsommar, I'd recommend too. But the only thing is like I did recommend Hereditary to Perry, and he hated it. So it's like you still got to be. As much as I like Midsommar and Hereditary, you still got to be semi.
Well, that's like I feel like that's like with A24 movies too. Is like we think about High Life. We weren't a big fan.
No.
A lot of people loved it. Obviously, critically, it was great.
Yes, yeah.
So I think those movies it's like all about if the person's going to bite or not.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, are you going to believe this? Are you going to get into it? Or
even like Enemy. Like we liked Enemy. We'll probably do a podcast about it eventually.
If Harry saw that, he'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like I could never recommend Enemy to pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
But
I recommend that to people.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you have to tell them.
But I'm talking about my friends.
You have
I'm talking about the 3 other friends I don't have that aren't here.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell Andrew, I'm like, oh, dude, watch this movie Enemy. And
But
he'll
you
be
have
like,
to
oh,
tell
really? And he'll
people-
never watch it.
You have to tell people that what kind of movie it is.
Yeah.
It's a movie that you're going to be like, wow, that's trippy, and you're going to have to watch it. Like, you're going to want to watch it again to understand the shit that goes on. Like, it's very...
Yeah, are you a fan of movies? Okay. Are you a fan of movies where you have to watch an ending explain video on YouTube?
Right.
Oh, then perfect. I got a movie for you.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
called
yeah,
Enemy.
yeah.
You know, but not everybody's like that. You know,
No, if you just
open-ended fucking.
If you just like
endings.
easy feel-good movies. Then.
Yeah, like Perry would rather watch, like if he's gonna watch a horror movie, he'd rather watch Conjuring, which is simple and scary.
Yeah.
He's not gonna watch The Witch.
Yeah.
You know, fucking crazy fucking movie. Actually, the director of The Witch has a movie coming out this fall called The Lighthouse, a black and white horror movie
Oh my
Really?
god.
with Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe.
Nuh-uh.
Patterson.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson.
Really? And William Dafoe?
Yeah, and a
He's
black
a
and white
creepy
horror
looking
movie
guy, dude.
called The Lighthouse.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Yeah, by A24. So
Nice.
that's going to be the next trip to the movie theater for us.
That'd
Yeah.
be good.
All right, well, that's episode 4 of the A24 Pod.
Hell
All
yeah.
right.
All right,
In
thanks
the
for
bag.
listening.
Have
Check
a
back
good
next
one.
week.
Yiki!
Bye-bye.
Skip it up.